Thank you guys for being here. During Harlem Renaissance, which is a really one of my favorite times, if I had the opportunity to live, I think I would have chose that time frame to live in. Despite the struggle, despite the hardship, there was some amazing, heartfelt art that was created during that time that is still living up until today. It's still here, it's still thriving, and we're still able to benefit from its impact. I want to introduce my friend, my amazing friend, Kimmie.
Southern trees bear strange fruit, blood on the leaves, and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging on the poplar tree. Pastoral scenes of the gallant South, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolia, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here's to the fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the trees to drop. Here's to the strange and bitter crop.
The murky mysteries of the malignant masses, loosely locked last thoughts play sounds against glaciers of green glass. Abstract, but doesn't mean subtract. Means the addition of the eyes, and they peer deeper, seek more completion while avoiding a definite deletion. This is just my interpretation. A poetic deviation into a more clearer or definite rendering of a soft breath, tender tears, lending their aid in the releasing of pain that dwells so deep beneath the surface of the deserted and prickly pasture of emotions. Positive reinforcement of the rain that falls outside the window of despair. in this game, is it real or superficially just unfair? The salty wetness presses ever so gently against the pulse of the almost dead, a slow death of feelings, a fast revival of hurt. No hallelujahs, just slow peasantries as I write furiously, seeking the pen that is red, the color of corrections. I'm lost somewhere between lines 1 and 2, but for this time, my tears are the words that flow, letters, sliding down my face, leaving a bitter trace. If only the watchers knew that these wet blades of feelings hurt like coldest fire, like the driest of heat, these shards of liquid glass that cloud my eyes as they lock under my chin, collecting themselves, just waiting on the leap of faith, waiting to be wiped away into a tissue of forgetfulness. I'm sorry, but this is just the realest. It's pain planted, it's pinched into poems. Playful pleasures placed near us, prickly pear, it pairs perfectly with a petrified picket fence, puzzled at where the door used to be. Special entrance around the back, the window. The rest is a complex dance of thought to paper, of sighs that just continue to make me cry.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream for me. Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I'm lingering on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I'm longing and lingering till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams and sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that let all worries behind you. But in your dream, whatever it be, dream a little dream for me. Ba-dum-dee-ba-ba-ba-dum-dee-day. Sweet da da dee da ba ba, sweet da da dee, sweet da 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 dee. Stars fading, but I'm lingering on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I'm longing and lingering till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams till let all words behind you. But in your dream, dream a little dream for me.
Let's let that sit there for a minute. Just saying. Each of you should have possibly a copy of a poem that I wrote. For those that don't have it, I'll read it for you, but normally in these circumstances when I'm doing something like this, I'm the one giving the prompt, right? I'm like, oh, here's the prompt, go find, do what you gotta do. This time I wanted to give you the poem, and I wanted you to, it's in this space, Delaney space, and I want you to figure out which poem this might be talking about. Okay?
Awesome.
I'm gonna give you about 10 minutes. It probably won't take you long. Now, the trick to this, technically, there's probably not really a wrong answer except for my preference, my choice, right? But there's something in this poem that I suspect will pull you to a piece, which honestly is probably the conversation we should be having anyway, right? I'll read the poem for those that don't have paper. The gathering, stepping into the journey with loaded satchel in hand, being vulnerable, breathe deep and stay steady. The ones in front of us asking to be seen and to be heard, to be valued, building trust. This year's moments are coming together. They do not pause or cease, but our arms are in tandem, fingers weaving, abundance, responsibility, participation, legs walking as a collective. One safe, sacred movement, giving birth, dancing to life, giving and gathering to thrive. No physical walls can contain this. We are a safe space. With every step, brave openness is invited, like loved ones for dinner, a full of expression. So if you take a peek, look around, take a moment, you can look and see what you think this piece goes to.
All I heard was the gathering. The gathering.
So let's pay attention, like the words I said, the gathering, stepping into the journey with a loaded satchel. Breathe deep and stay steady. What could that be?
You look good.
Girl, don't want to head
How'd you like to blow your top? Dig yourself some fine rebop. Hidey, hidey, oh, the hidey ho, man, that's me. Hidey, 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 hidey. Say, I have to be in London, I have to be in Holland, I have to be in gay Paris. Yes, sirree, yes, sirree. Oh, the hidey ho, man, that's me. Hidey, 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 hey, 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 say, Jack, ain't you glad you dug my jive? Look here, Mitch, hand me over that rice greasy 5. Hidey ho, heedy hee. Oh, the hidey ho, man, that's me. Hidey, 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 hey, hey, heedy, heedy, hidey, 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 hidey. Say, Jack, be solid, fella, be a real groovy fella, and you gonna be just about as sharp as me. Yes, sirree, yes, sirree. Oh, the honey old man, that's me. Hidey, hi. Hidey, hi. Yeah, the hey. Yeah, oh, hoody, hoody. Hoody, hoody. Hidey, 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 hidey. Oh, Mindy, get out of some more moon. Oh, nigga, my dad's devil, my God, yes, eh, man, hidey, hidey, hidey. The howdy ho man, that's me.
Wow. How amazing. Yes. For a moment, we step back in time, right? Yeah. So part of Vision and Verse, when we created it in 2015. Oh, yeah. The goal was how artists interpret art, how we see other genres. And what was happening to me was organically, I would come to the Hunter Museum and I would write organically. No one was prompting, there was no reason to do it, I just was writing. And so that was the beginning of it, and it became where it swelled into including so many different types of genres in our city: rappers, meditation artists, dancers, all of the things. And it's their interpretation of the art in the space that brings the art that you see here. In that same vein, those that have your poem, I want to look at someone. I want you to kind of tell me what you were thinking, where you thought that this was leading me, or where did I come from with this poem? Can you, my love? Yes.
First one, the big one that we were together by the
No. Close though. However, but see, there's a thing to that, right though? Because you went to that. What line took you to that?
The main thing that took me to that is there was a crowd of people, there were a lot of people in it, and there was a satchel in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just those two things that stood out, that it was a lot of people. It seemed like it was some sort of journey, and the whole satchel was in place.
Perfect. Technically, I can't say that there's a wrong answer if it leads you to an art piece. Now, if it led you to the corner, I don't know what to say. That was not the plan. But if it leads you to an art piece that you can have a conversation about, then it did its job, right? I Miyagi'd you. I just waxed on, wax off you. Perfect. Anybody else thinking where this may have taken me? What do you think, sir? I love it when that happens. So amazing.
I guess the first thing that I thought is it has to be something that's representational. It's not one of the abstract pieces.
Right.
And there are lots of people mentioned. There's a coming together. There's a community of people. And so I began looking at the things that match that criteria. And so then there's another one back there kind of in the corner that matches those. I'm wrong again.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? But you're actually onto something, because it's very representational of, if you follow it almost as a GPS in a weird way, if you were like following a poet. But who wants to follow a poet? I mean, we'd be going some dark places sometimes. Yes.
I thought the photos were good, that they brought everything together. The people,
Yes.
the being joined together, the walking, probably the fingers intertwining. So for me, I love the art, but I like the photos a lot.
So this photo here, this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Literally, it's my favorite. I've sat here, I'm supposed to have been writing about something else, and I sat on that bench, and I sat there as if I was eavesdropping on their very private conversation. Like I could hear the glasses clinging, I could hear them talking. I could also feel James Baldwin's possible frustration. Like, oh, another day. Are you serious? Are we still doing this, you know? Anyone else want to take a stab as to what you think this was? It is a photo though, y'all.
Ah.
It is a photo. And there's only two, yes. Yeah, so it was, and the reason, so it's this piece here, them walking. And the reason being is because when I walked in and saw them, I heard this rhythm. I heard this organic rhythm between a mentor and a mentee. I heard this rhythm of, we're gonna take over the world, but they won't know till we're dead, kind of thing, you know? And that's literally what has happened. What are some of your favorite pieces in this space after you had a moment, and you can just popcorn it out, some of your favorite ones?
Well, I think it's a self-portrait in the other room. I really liked it with the color. It's got a lot of color, even when it was supposed to be the absence of color.
That's a good point. Fallon, what's your favorite in this whole room?
This one right here.
Yeah? What did it say to you, sis?
And then honestly, it was just because like, I know it was following the poem, but just moving in spirit, this is the one that it led me to, and I was reading the description, just the color. But this is a piece of where he considered suicide.
Yes.
So you have the leaving,
Yep.
and that's where it took me.
And that's actually, there can't be a wrong answer if you let the art lead you, which sometimes we don't always do. How many of you are artists or creatives? How many of you actually become vulnerable to that artistic life? That's the thing. That's you allowing it to lead you, right? Allowing it to take you where you need to go. So if you imagine this room being life for a second, and I just handed you kind of a map, messed up my life, might be, but anyway, I handed you a map and it took you around. You were at that moment being led by art, which
Erika?
is an amazing thing. Yes.
Can I say something?
Please.
I was originally, if we could have moved the tripod, I was originally gonna do Strange Fruit in front of the exact same painting, because I was like, when I first came into the space, I was like, I don't know what it is about this, but I felt the pain behind it. I saw the chaos in it. And so that's what drew me. And originally, there's also a piece over on the other side. Nellie Mae, yes, that remind me of my grandmother. And it was around those times of lynching. But my grandmother lived to be 101. So that's what inspired the song.
Do you have any questions you want to ask any of us, please? Why did you choose that particular song, Ryan?
I felt very moved by it. I felt like that it was during the time that areas went crazy. And I was drawn to that song.
You felt you were totally connected to it, yeah?
Like the way the beats and the symbols, like it kind of like moves you a little bit. You know?
Oh, he make you want to dance when he talking. I can't even. Perfect. Kimmie, why'd you choose Strange Fruit?
Again, you guys haven't had a chance to go over to the other side, but it just reminded me of so much. Just the time, my grandmother she picked cotton, that slavery was real. 101 years, you see a lot. And so I remember the stories that she used to tell in her house with the dirt porch and the peacocks in front of the house, the dogs, chickens running around, of how daunting those times were. So really that's what inspired me to sing the song.
And then Dream a Dream.
Dream a Little Dream, boy, it was definitely this space that really provoked me to pick that song. Dream a Little Dream, for me, is for the dreamer. And so we all have things within us that pushes us to want to dream more. And even though the song is talking about, I mean, it's a love story. Dream a little dream for me, kiss me. The song kind of pictured, it was a painting in music for me. So that's why I picked that song.
Perfect choices. Any other questions you might have? That first poem I did, I wrote that. I am not ashamed to say I wrote that when I was in a very dark place, that first poem. It was a poem about thinking of your own existence. I wrote that several years ago. It came back to me as I approached my 50th birthday last week. And that look of what life is beyond. And then I also was like, wait, I'm being a tad bit selfish as I'm reading this, because it also could be describing the feelings of a family who has had a death or a lynching in their family. The feelings were very closely related, it felt like, a grieving nonetheless. And so that's what made me pair that poem specifically right after Strange Fruit. Did you guys know that Strange Fruit was actually a poem originally by a Jewish civic, he was a civil rights activist, and that's originally where it came from. And so you never know how words will affect you and how they will become so profound, because that very song, the freedom to be able to sing that song, was not afforded to Billie Holiday.
It wasn't.
They didn't want her to sing that song anymore. It was too much of a mirror of what was happening in the world. And so they want her to cut that short, get rid of that song completely and totally. And here we are, being able to resurrect it.
And I thought it was interesting that when Billie Holiday, when she was presented the song, she sang it at every performance, at the end of every set. And the people were just, she didn't want applause or anything. She wanted people to just sit with the song and sit with their feelings on that song. And I just thought it was, I mean, until it became a national, you know, it touched hearts, and it made people really open their eyes to see what was the gravity of what was happening in that time.
Art will always tell the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Never lies. Any other questions?
Is there something or someone that continues to give you encouragement as artist/creators?
Go ahead first, Joe.
For me, I mean, my mother, but she is my biggest cheerleader. But I have a very strong support system, and when I wanted to give up on my art, I have. I think many of us has gone through that, man. I'm just, you know, it's just, you know, it's not, I'm not moved the way I used to be moved. And then you get to a situation where you're engaged again and it sparks that fire within you. I have a strong support system, people that believe in me and really won't let me stop my artistry, because it needs to be heard.
Yeah, we drag her out.
Yeah.
That's me too, my mom. She's here in the audience.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
She definitely, I'm getting emotional. She definitely, sorry.
It's all right. It's okay.
She pushed me to be the best I can be. She always tell me, Ryan, put God first, you take care of the rest. And also to have a great support system as well too. Like, people want to know, I want to come. So like that made me even drive, like push even harder.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm just blessed to showcase my love to dance to everyone, and I'm happy.
Awesome.
I don't know. I'm inspired by so many different artists in the community to just keep moving. I don't know that my parents knew all that I could do until I was probably 35 or 40. They would see it on social media, but I don't think they really understood the impact of what I was capable of. Not in a bad way. It's just, I don't think they knew. Now they know. And we have different conversations. But my mom's a writer and my dad's a preacher. So you end up with a poet. And this is what you get. That's about it. But I do, same as you guys, I have a really strong support system of friends that have reminded me lately of my importance lately, Tara, of my importance of never quitting. Because a couple of times I thought about, I'm done. That's a wrap. We're over. And then something would happen that would be like, oh, that pen says no. Keep going. Anything else? Any other questions?
Boom, I think I was like around 9 years old, watching first part I saw perform was Michael Jackson. Like he's my big inspiration. Like seeing him like have so much confidence in dance, that's like I want to do that. I want to dance just like that. You know what I'm saying? But I kept pushing, kept practice my craft, and just and believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did. Yeah. Thank you.
I hope that tonight has encouraged each of you to step out to your local museum, not just for the fun of it, but also for the therapy of it, for the health of it, for the best part of it even. This is where you would find me sometimes at my darkest spots. So it's, Adara, can I? Yes, you can. And I'm sitting in the corner, shoes off, and I'm just writing. Many heartfelt pieces have been written here in this space, and it only took me to just come and sit. Thank you for having me. Thank you for even, Adara, I don't even know if I've ever said it, but thank you for even believing in 2014 that just a regular poet could actually be something different and do something different.